Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my Thursday channel. Today I've got some craft room organization ideas to share with you. I don't know if you are like me, but my craft room is a disaster after the holidays and it's time to whip it in shape. So if you want to know how to do that, stick around. I'll show you how. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to start with my ribbon storage. This is where I really struggle. I'm going to show you behind the scenes where I keep my ribbon. And if I can just shut the door and it stays in there, I'm good. But at this point, I am past good with this and I've got to get this under control. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to go ahead and take every single thing out of my cabinet. And I'm going to kind of color coordinate it and try to get the same size rolls together so that I can put them in the same area. And I'm going to show you a cabinet that I'm going to put together here in a little bit that goes on the behind of the door. And that's where I'm going to place all these. Okay, and then if you have a corner cabinet like this, even in your kitchen, I just want to show you these plastic containers that are pretty handy. You get 6 to a pack, and they hold quite a bit, and they got tall walls on them, so you can get quite a bit in them. And I'm putting my big ribbon storage back in there, but look how much space you get. And you get these on Amazon for $32, and you get 6 of them. I think that that's a pretty good buy, and they're very handy. Okay, if you have loose ribbon there's not enough to put back on a spool and it's just laying random in your space, I'm just going to show you a way that I organize mine because I don't throw away any of my ribbon. I keep pretty much everything. And I just got these plastic containers at the Dollar Tree. They're little canisters and I'm mixing in my pinks with my reds, my blues with my greens, my yellows with my oranges, and then I'm going to use all the neutral colors to put in another one. And this is just a great way to store extra ribbon that you just don't want to throw away because you can always use a little piece of ribbon for something. Okay, then you can just leave these on a shelf in your craft room. It does add a lot of color to your space too, and it's a great way just to store some loose ribbon. Okay, then I'm just storing these on my countertop so that if I want a piece of ribbon, I can see it pretty quick and easy, and it's a great way to use up old ribbon. And just to keep my ribbon all intact, I bought these little push-in pins, or little half-inch push-in pins, and I'm just going to push those into the end of each one of my rolls just to keep my ribbon together. When I'm going to store most of my ribbon in, it's an over-the-door organizer. It has 6 shelves. They're pretty good size too, so they do hold full-size ribbon, and they're real easy to put together. These had no tools needed for this. Everything snapped together with like those little pins where you hold them in and put the other rod over the top of them, and then everything else just kind of snaps in place, and these snap onto those rods. And I'll show you what it looks like once I got done. I mean, you can literally put this together in like 5 minutes. It went so fast. And it won't tear up your door because it does have like some rubber that goes onto it, holds it in place. And then it does have an adhesive strip that mounts it to the bottom to keep it from shaking. I was worried that it was going to stick off too far off the door at first, but it didn't. I mean, these were perfect size for ribbon storage. And then when I load it, I'm going to go ahead and color coordinate my little shelves. And this will help me too, because I don't know about you, I tend to buy ribbon that I already have because I don't see it. And if I have this right in my view where I can see it every day, I'll know exactly what I have and then I won't duplicate it. And this one cabinet held about 3/4 of the ribbon that was in that cabinet that I showed you at the very beginning. But it gets it really organized and nice, and you can kind of see exactly what you got. This really was a good buy. I think if I had more door spaces, I would add some more, but I'm kind of tapped out now. Okay, I bought these little cardboard spools. They're real heavy duty. I got these on Amazon, and I'm going to put ribbon on these that don't have a lot of ribbon left on a roll, and it's just taking up a lot of space because it doesn't need to be on that roll. And I'll show you how much room you can save by using these little cards. Okay, and I'm just going to use this for some big ribbon and some small ribbon. And I just have like, this is maybe a 3-foot piece, and I'm just going to wrap it around here. I'll show you here in a minute after I put it in the cabinet that I bought as well, how much space you actually save by doing this. You could actually do this to a lot of your ribbon, even the ones that are on bigger spools. And I'll show you here in a minute a spool that was brand new that I put these on. Then I'm using a little plastic clip just to clip it on, just to hold it in place. And I got those plastic clips on Amazon as well. You get 300 of them for like $7.99, but you could use these on a lot of craft storage ideas. Okay, and this was a sheer ribbon I had. The whole spool was full, and I transferred it over to that cardboard, so you can see how much space you save by using those over the spool. For the rest of my ribbon, I bought this little slim slide-out pantry storage organizer. It's 5 inches wide, so you can put that right up next to a cabinet, and it doesn't take up much space, but it does hold quite a bit of ribbon. And to put it together, it didn't require any tools. Everything pretty much snapped together, and it does have wheels so that you can roll it around. But the little shelves are pretty wide, and it does fit these little cards just perfectly. And that's how many I got into one shelf. And then I'll show you here also here in a second, down the bottom shelf, I have all this ribbon that's stacked up like this. I'll show you how to flatten that out as well. Now you can put these on another card. If you go to the Dollar Tree and get some of their ribbon, it doesn't really have a lot of ribbon on it, so you could transfer it to these cards pretty easily. Okay, so you can see how much space it saves you, but I'm going to show you another trick. Go ahead and take the top and the bottom off of a spool that doesn't have a lot of ribbon on it, like the Dollar Tree ones, and then just kind of squeeze the cardboard in the center. Now, don't squeeze down the sides because you don't want to crease your ribbon, but just get the sides pushed down pretty good in the center, and then I'll show you real quick how many of these ribbons can go together. Now, you saw in the cabinet where I had them stacked, and I'm going to show you the difference between squeezing them down versus leaving them whole. Okay, so you can see that that really did save a lot of space because those were stacked up a little bit ago. Okay, and then I just slid that right next to my cabinet. It takes up very little space. Another thing I do with my ribbon, if I've used half the spool, I go ahead and cut the cardboard down to be a circle about the same size as what ribbon's left. This just really does save a lot of extra space because you don't have that big of spools. Okay, to organize my embroidery floss, I bought these little cards too. They're little plastic cards, and you just wrap your embroidery floss around it. It has a little holder on the end where it snaps into it, and it holds quite a bit of floss. Okay, and this is how my embroidery floss always looks, and I usually have it just stuffed in a drawer, but these really are going to help organize it, and you can get a lot of those little skeins on one of those little cards. But this is how mine ends up looking, and I have to kind of take it and unravel it when I get ready to use it. So these were definitely a bonus for me, and they're easy to load and they're easy to store. Okay, then I just dropped them all down in a little jar, put a little label on it, and then I'm just going to put it right up in my cabinet. This is where I store all of my fabric, and it's just totally got out of hand. I don't know if your craft room ends up looking like this, but I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to organize your fabric. Okay, to organize my fabric, I bought these little board inserts. You get 150 of them in a kit, and I'm going to use 2 of them together, and it makes it really stiff so that you can organize your fabric, and it does stay nice and neat. Okay, then just kind of smooth out your fabric so that you have a finished end on both ends of it. I'm taking 2 pieces of the cardboard because it made it a little bit more stiffer, and then I'm just going to go ahead and roll my fabric up in it. This is a great way to store fabric, and I'll show you at the end how good it looks when you're done. And just kind of get your fabric in there, and then just go ahead and put 2 of the little clips on there, and that's pretty much it. This was really a space saver. For my scrap fabrics that's too small to put on one of those boards, I'm just going to go ahead and roll it up. Kind of like when you go to the fabric store and they have their remnants all rolled up into a basket. That's what I'm doing with my remnants. So I'm just going to roll them up. I'm going to add a rubber band on the top and the bottom just to hold them in place. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put these in a plastic container together. The way to store fabric, if you have small pieces, is you can roll them up on those same spools that we did the ribbon. And then just go ahead and add a clip at the end once you get it done. And then these will actually take up a lot less space too if you have just small pieces. If you don't want to use the spools, just fold these up small as well, and then you can just roll these up. And these will fit into a small plastic container pretty easily, and then you can just kind of line them up and you can kind of see exactly where what you have. For this next one, I'm going to use these vacuum storage bags. They come in a variety of different sizes. They have real large ones, and then they have kind of smaller ones, and the smaller ones really aren't that small. But this is a great way to save some space because these really do cut down on space. And I'm just going to take my fabrics that I have large bundles of. I'm going to put similar fabrics together in one bag, and then I'm just going to go ahead and vacuum seal them. And I'll show you here in my cabinet here in a minute how much space it actually really does reduce. I think I got like 6 or 7 bundles in one small cabinet, the bottom of one of my cabinets. All you got to do is just close them up and then get your vacuum cleaner out and then just seal them up. It doesn't take long at all, and these do crush down pretty good, and it doesn't hurt your fabric. But you can see how small this little bundle turned into. Okay, again, this is the before. And this is how good it looked after. And you can see all your fabrics. It makes it a little bit easier to see exactly what you have so you're not rebuying things at the store. For this last one, I'm using one of the Dollar Tree non-slip sink mats. And I'm going to hang all of my scissors on this. All you do is just buy you a couple of little hooks. And then I'll show you exactly how I did mine. Just anything that, has a loop on it that you want to hang. This is a great little tool, and it held the weight just fine. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I have more organizational tips coming to you. If you have areas in your craft room that you struggle with, that you want help with organizing, be sure to leave me a comment in the description below, and maybe I can help address some of those issues for you. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it.